Good afternoon. It's Friday, June 4th, 2021, and it's exactly 1 week after my shoulder surgery. So is it possible to exercise a week after a shoulder surgery? Well, the answer might surprise you, but it is yes. So today I was able to go down and ride a stationary bike for 14 minutes. I did 7 kilometers over 14 minutes. I started off with an easy pace. And I got increased it over the 14 minutes. My heart rate started out about 110 beats a minute or so at the pace that I started, and it ended at about 159. So I was going at a much higher pace. So I gradually increased that pace just to kind of feel what my body was doing, feel if my shoulder was having any effects or whatnot, and it didn't. I was really happy. I got nice, hot, and sweaty. It was great. So after that, I went and I tested several different movements that I thought would not affect my shoulder. So I did some box step-ups to a 24-inch box. I did some GHD hip extensions. I did some ab mat setups just to start out with that. Then I went up to GHD setups. And then I did some single arm dumbbell rowing, some horizontal rowing, and some single dumbbell overhead presses. So the overhead presses actually did bother my right shoulder a little bit, even though that I was only doing it with my left arm, my left shoulder. It was actually bothering my right shoulder a little bit. So I put the weight down a little, like quite a bit, and I tried it with really light dumbbells, and that seemed to be fine. So I did it that way. All the other exercises that I just mentioned didn't bother me at all. It was really cool. I only did one set of each one of them, like, I don't know, 10, 15 reps or so, just something nice and light and easy. And I didn't want to overdo it my first day trying this thing out, because I'd already done 14 minutes on the erg bike. So good news. I was able to actually exercise, and I'm really looking forward to being able to do more of that in the future. Just as a quick tip, if you have one of these slings like I do, what I've done is that I've actually put a pillowcase on the inside of it. And if you're gonna exercise, then you wanna put that pillowcase in there, because my forearm was really hot and sweaty, and it would not be a good thing, because I gotta wear this thing for 6 weeks and it's not easy to wash. So just a quick tip there. So I wanted to go over a few milestones that I've kind of, just kind of accumulation of what's happened to me in a week. So this is kind of where I'm standing right now. So for the last 48 hours, I really haven't had any pain in my shoulder to speak of during the day when I'm moving around or doing anything normal. There's been no pain. So I'm at a 0 on that 0 to 10 scale. So that's been fantastic. So during the night when I'm actually sleeping, and I'm sleeping in bed on my left side, my non-operated side here, it does hurt a little bit here and there. I might wake up and I've rolled a little bit too far, and then I can start feeling it. But it's nothing bad at all. I'd say like a 1 or a 2 at the very most. So really good about that. I turned the corner on my pain probably about 48 hours ago, so about after that 5th day. And I stopped doing things like just simply trying to type with my iPhone, trying to lift, or not lift, but hold small objects in my hand. I'm not doing any of that anymore. The biggest change for me was not guarding anymore. Guarding is like you're all tense and you've got that shoulder up. So I've tried to really push it down into that sling and really let it relax and just be more upright. So when I'm more upright, like at my desk or in a chair, standing especially, it's been really good. I find that when I'm sitting back in the recliner, that it actually starts aching a little bit because it's kind of pushing forward. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So for the entire week, I haven't had to use any opioids whatsoever. I had that nerve block going on for the first, probably 48 hours or so. It's probably a little bit less than that, but that helped a lot. I took Tylenol for the next 3-4 days. The last Tylenol that I took was yesterday and it was just for preventative measures for PT. So I didn't know how PT was going to go, so I just took it beforehand, and I definitely didn't need it. So yeah, no NSAIDs. I've taken no NSAIDs, no opioids at all, and I've basically discontinued the use of Tylenol, at least for right now. I'll probably use it, as that I do physical therapy and that shoulder gets a little bit tender doing those things. I'll probably use Tylenol for that, and maybe even some NSAIDs, but I'm about 99.9% sure now that I'm not going to have to take any opioids. So I'm super stoked about that. The sleeping in bed, I've been sleeping in bed since night 2, as I mentioned in other videos, so I'm not going to go over that a whole lot, but just suffice it to say that I'm pretty comfortable. I'm not like super comfortable. I still wake up probably several times during the night, a little bit of pain induced, whatnot, or having to go to the bathroom, but for the most part, I'm sleeping decent. I'm getting probably 7-8 hours of sleep a night total. But that comes in different chunks. Like last night, I woke up for just a little bit of, about a half an hour or so, and then I was able to go back to sleep. So the eating and digestion, my eating is totally normal based on my activity level. My activity level is a lot less right now, so I'm eating less, but I'm totally good. My digestion has been totally good for the last 48 hours, so that's all good. Today, set a milestone. I was able to shower by myself. So that was really, really nice. It's harder to get that left arm, the outside of your left arm, but you can pretty much get everything else pretty well. So I was able to shower, dry off by myself. I was able to get dressed by myself. I was able to put my own sling, my own shirt. I was able to completely get dressed all by myself. So that was really, really good. Walking is good. So, just being upright, moving around every once in a while. I'm trying to move around a little bit, at least once an hour, every hour. And I've definitely moved more than that, but that was my goal, is just to get up and, use this Apple Watch to make sure that I'm standing. Moving around is good too. Movement is good. That's a couple of things that have really helped me. I figured out how to do most things with a single arm. So I've had to do a lot of different things different ways, and it's definitely slower and not as efficient as having two hands. But the beauty of it is that you will figure it out. You will figure out how to use one hand, how to change the way that you do certain things so that you can be successful with that. So my physical therapy, what I'm doing on that is that I'm doing shoulder shrugs, I'm doing scapular retraction, shoulder circles, and I'm squeezing that ball 3 times every day. I'm also changed my mobility now my wife is helping with my mobilization. So we're doing external rotation, we're doing overhead, just kind of like this, kind of overhead, and it's all passive, by the way. Abduction, or here, and extension, so extension being more here. So we're doing those 4 things and working on it so that, we get those pieces even better before I go back to physical therapy. I'm doing physical therapy with my doctor of physical therapy twice a week. I'm doing that on Monday and Thursday, and then I'm just doing it at home every day, twice daily with my wife. So the goals for physical therapy are basically to keep that shoulder happy, to keep the inflammation down, to keep the pain down. I don't want to feel any pain. I don't want to feel any inflammation. I want to keep it super happy. And the things that I've adjusted to and I've learned, I've been able to make it happy. And so I'm keeping it happy. And my physical therapist told me, hey, if we can keep that shoulder happy, then we can start mobilizing it. And if we can start mobilizing it and we go through those ranges of motions and we finally get to that ultimate goal of being fully mobile, then we can start working on strength. So that's kind of the pattern, and that's my goal, is just keeping that shoulder happy and increasing mobilization through those ranges as I go. And then the strength is going to come later. That's a much later deal. So again, all that stuff is passive as far as my mobility is concerned at this point. So that's pretty much the update for week 1. I have to say that I am like super, super happy. I thought, just from reading and watching videos about all the horror stories about how hard shoulder surgery is, that I was going to be so much worse off. And don't get me wrong, it's no picnic. It hurts, and I've had my ups and downs for sure, and a lot of challenges, really. But overall, I am like so far ahead of where I thought that I would be right now, and I hope that I just continue on that trajectory. So I hope that's for you as well. So don't get down about it. Shoulder surgery is not easy, but it can be good. You can succeed. You can be happy. You can make that shoulder happy, and you can be doing all of these things on your own in a week's time. So I'm living proof, and I know that you can do that as well. So thank you so much for your time. If you like this information, please subscribe. Please click that notification button. Comment down there. I can answer comments a lot better. I'm using Siri now on my phone to do that. But I'd love to interact with you, and if I can help you in any way, if there's something that I haven't covered, if you have any questions, please let me know, and I will definitely try to include it in the videos. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you soon.